Alright, guys. It's grand finals time. We've got a Zerg here in the Pigosaur Weekly. What a treat. His games have been so fun. Falcon Solar in the bottom right side of the map against Clem in the top left. And what I'm so happy about is with the Baneling change, essentially, he is actually going to be able to potentially beat Clem. On the previous patch, I just don't think Solar could beat Clem. The Banelings without the 5 hit points was just too problematic. You've also got the slightly faster building Spire, which could technically help. The Microbial Shroud is not being used by pro gamers, even though it is very good in this matchup in certain situations. It's expensive, it's hard to get to. It's kind of a late game addition, which no one's really thinking about. So understandably, it's hard to use it, and the games are often too high tempo to really figure out in the heat of the moment how to do it. Now, of course, theoretical win. Now ZVP is better. Not that much. Similar meta, says Solar. They don't know how to use the patch. They should nerf Tempest and Mothership, says Solar. Criticizing, of course, those who did make the patch, or which is the Classic Games team, I believe, over at Blizzard. But yeah, I think what's interesting, I spoke to Rogue. Rogue said ZVP is a lot better. I asked him, I said, any thoughts? And he said, Spy is a bit better, which is really good, and Storm isn't as overpowered now. So it's good for Zerg, and the meta is way more interesting in PvZ, basically. So Zerg, I think most of the Zergs are pretty damn happy with PvZ. Some Protoss have been ringing the alarm bell saying Storm's not going to do anything, but I guess that's more something we can talk about another day. As this is a Zerg versus Terran, I've cast so much ZVT today, and it's actually awesome. Solar has done Roach Ravager all-ins with Nidus. He has rushed Mutalisks, he has rushed Hive for Lurkers, with like a Roach Hydra Lurker build. He's gone Ultras a lot of games, he's rushed Ling upgrades, he's done Ling floods. Solar has so many different builds he's using right now, and that's very cool to see. So even though I don't think Zerg options are massively expanded from the last patch, at the very least, Solar is feeling inspired to try some different build orders, and that in of itself is a big win for us viewers. Anytime the Zergs are trying some new stuff. Okay, Reaper poking around here. Gonna see a Hellion come out. Second one's a little bit behind. So Clem going 2-on-1, guys. It's gonna be 4 Hellions into 2 Barracks Marine Medic. Or Medivac, I should say. I've been casting too much of the SC1 versus SC2 mod. I was watching Tasia's amazing Marine Medic play. These are not medics, they're Medivacs. This version of the game. The main version. Queen's coming over, good creep spread. Now, Tydo Citadel's an interesting map, guys. I do wonder if he tries to get the 4th up front. It's a bit risky. I do think this 4th down here is a bit easier to defend, but he might want to take the base up. I mean, you probably take both at the same time. Or you could expand to the edges. Ignore this base in the middle, because it's a bit too close to this area. I think the Watchtower, this is basically the Terran heaven, and I don't think Solar's going to want to fight there. Oh, he's only got 5 Lings. Oh, no. Those Hellions going to try and get up that ramp. They're doing pretty well, man. Oh, this is really bad. He was way out of position. He's trying to build 14 more Zerglings. There's a lot of damage could be coming in. 3 drones have already gone down. Doesn't go as deep on those Hellion volleys as I expected. I gotta argue that was a little bit of a miss micro for Clem, guys. I think he could have gone deeper and got a full volley to kill at least like 4 or 5 more drones. Still gets good mining time, good disruption here. Solar's back to droning as he finally cleans this up. Of course, Clem gets a few more Zerglings for his trouble, just 1 or 2 more. Lots of mining time lost, and I think Solar going for a quick carapace. I'd love to see him take a fast 4th base. One thing that Solar almost never does is rush that 4th. He's like very methodical. He kind of has a build order and he follows it very tight. He's like, no, I take my 2nd gas, I drop my Baneling Nest, and then I do this. And I kind of would love, after taking a little bit of damage, just be a little bit greedier. And hey, 4th base pre-Baneling Nest. Oh, Solar, you make me so happy today. Ever since the first game I cast a Solar today where he rushed Mutalisks, I've been very excited. He's playing really cool styles at the moment. He used to never do this. He used to be like, no, I gotta make the Baneling Nest. We gotta follow the order. To be fair, the fact that he still doesn't have a Baneling Nest kind of has me worried. We're like, are we playing, unless, is he gonna play Rainer's style of Massling Infesta into Ultras? That is the most un-Solar style I've ever seen in my life. But he might risk it. I doubt he knows how to play it as well as Raynor. Raynor's really the only player I know in the world who, maybe Serral, since they're friends and they share ideas, maybe he knows how to do it as well. Ooh, Medevac's taking big damage. Clem gets a hatchery though. It's a big pickoff. Really good pickoff, denying that fourth base. That fast fourth does not pay off, and now Solar off creep here. Needs a new creep tumor down. The Lings will push Clem away. Clem does get one queen for his troubles. It is indeed quick infestation pit. Early +2 Carapace. +1 melee is now in the way as well. You need a 4th and 5th hatchery for this though. Solar needs a 5th hatchery as well. He should be taking one up top, taking a macro hatchery. His money's starting to float. Even if he's perfect on his injects, with a mass Zergling style, it is tough to spend your money, and he's sitting at 54 workers for too long. I gotta say, this looks night and day compared to when Raynor does this build. Raynor has made this build look so fantastic, but I mean, you can tell he is always towing that line of greed. He gets to 70 workers so fast, and he's on like a really heavy amount of minerals. Now, there's 5 gases going. The hive has started. He's gonna head towards ultras, but it doesn't have enough gas for any infestors just yet. The first one only now starting. 5th hatchery starts. I definitely think double macro hatch, which Raynor went for. We saw in a series of his, actually just earlier today, I was casting as well. And if Raynor goes double macro hatch, a guy who really has faith in himself hitting injects perfectly, then you know it's a good idea. 4th command center, 3 more barracks are on the way. We've got drilling claws coming in, as well as the 2nd factory out front, the 3rd building this. So Clem's going to pivot into Widow Mine play. Biomine, I think you'll probably build tech labs on these extra barracks, add marauders. Solar. Microbial Shroud! He's making Shroud! Oh, that makes me so excited. Those games of Raynor, I was really disappointed that he wasn't making Shroud at all in those games. When I really think they would have helped him out, but Solar, he's actually going to use the new ability. And I love that Solar's just got a bit of an experimental focus today. He's clearly trying builds. He hasn't had a lot of time to practice, but he's mixing it up and he's kind of flowing from style to style, and that's very cool. Yeah, I saw games where Raynor had like 6 full energy infestors maxed out, and he's just refused to make Shroud, and I was like, come on, man. To be fair, he wasn't really maxed, but he was close to maxed. And I was like, please. It is a spell which is 100 energy. It's very expensive. You gotta get this really time expensive upgrade as well, so I normally wouldn't see a player get it this early, but feels he can squeeze it in there. Why not? I mean, it's going to help your Zerglings a lot against the Marines. If you can just surround with mass Zergling, and there's not many Widow Mines out, like, yeah, your Lings are going to do great with the Shroud. And of course, Shroud doesn't help against Widow Mines. It's spell damage. Medevac goes in. Queens and Infestors hanging on. Oh, 1 queen goes down already. Oh my gosh, the Lings just YOLO. Not like this, Solar. Solar, he goes in. He doesn't have enough units for that, does he? Oh, not without, like, if he had an amazing fungal, maybe. He throws the fungals, no Shroud. He throws a 3rd fungal, though. The Marines take a 4th fungal to the chin. Almost all the Marines drop. And you know what? There's not enough healing, not with that many queens, and now Lings rallying in. Dude, pretty sick hold here. Remember, though, Solar was way behind on income for a little while in the mid-game where he was sitting on 54 drones for a long time. The Marine redrop comes in, does snipe the queen, which unfortunately for Solar was his only anti-air there. He has 7 queens left. He's going to try and send those to inject, but of course, Clem is not going to relent. He's going to attack the front now with Marauders, Mines, Marines. He stims literally to cross the map quicker, realizing that right now, Solar's not ready for it, and he targets the Infestor with energy with the Widow Mine. Oh my gosh. Brutal play there, but Ultras are on the field as well. If anyone can hold on from here, it is Solar. Solar's one of the best players at hanging on in a low economy situation. Marines drop behind the Evo Chamber. Queens do finally clean that up. Over on the left side, Ultra's going to focus down those Widow Mines. Nice for Solar. Really well done. Of course, with 2-3 Widow Mines building at a time, 6 Widow Mines building a minute, it's hard to deal with the endless amount of Widow Mines that will be coming forward. With no Infestors left alive, or only 1, I should say, it's really hard. If you had those Infestors gathering energy, it would kind of be like, hey, it's only a matter of time till we have more fungal, and Solar will, you know, be able to shut this down. Lings intercepting the rally. Problem for him is Clem runs in and snipes the hatchery. The absolute goal of this mad lad. And oh, get out of here. He even targeted those. And then he picks up 2 of them and goes in them. How are you managing all of these things at once? Clem, that's illegal. Guys, I'm giving him a red card for literally going over the speed limit. Can we enforce a speed limit in StarCraft so Clem doesn't just beat everyone with raw speed? He was already winning this game, but now he's just styling. What the hell, man? Widow Mines aren't quite recharged, and there is an Overseer there, so thankfully, finally makes a mistake, does Clem. But he moved this Widow Mine away from the Spore Crawler, gets another 4 drones, and of course the rally is ready on the left side as well. Widow Mine's trying to once again burrow on top of Solar's face. Solar struggling to hold on there. He does have Chitinous plating on his Ultras and Anabolic Synthesis. Lands a Fungal on the front row of Marauders. Ultras do some pretty good damage there. The Microbial Shroud went down, but of course he runs out of the Shroud. And this is the problem, if you're this far behind, Shroud does not look that good because it is so easy for Marauders to start to step out. Like, this is the worst case scenario. Shroud, you're meant to flank them. You're meant to come in from 2 sides or land a giant chain fungal. But of course, if you're just fighting like this with 2 or 3 Ultras and just not much else, it's a bit easy for the Terran to stim in and out. And that's what Clem will do. Takes advantage there. I do like Solar trying a different style, but I think he was a bit too far behind, even just from the build-up stage, and especially with that 4th hatchery getting sniped. Clem takes a very decisive game 1. All right, guys, going into game 2 here. Solar in the top right side of the map on Andromeda. Clem in the bottom left side. Now, this map's pretty cool, guys. Andromeda is, I think this is the map with, yes, it is. Damn it, the Overlord already went past. There is a Moopy hanging out on this statue, and he's playing the drums on a Marine's helmet. I love that this is here because we've actually got a Terran player in here. And he's basically like, Clem, I got your boys. Look at me play the bongos. Boom, 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 boom. He's using, I guess he uses the shoulder pads, right? It's like the shoulder pads he uses as the bongos there to make the music. So that guy's definitely cheering for Solar. Andromeda, of course, guys, we had some trivia about it. We'll rehash that. Andromeda is the closest galaxy to the Milky Way galaxy, which we're in. It is, was it 1.5 or 2.5 million light years away? So just a short trip. A couple of tactical jumps with a battlecruiser away. Not too far. Andromeda also was the daughter of something from Ethiopia that did... I can't remember the story. Can't remember the Greek mythology story. But it was fun. Alright. Looks pretty chill. SCV is going to try and block the 3rd. There's other 3rd bases do not look as good. This one looks garbage. It's like, hey, we're going to give you a 3rd that's in a bad position, and you only get 6 minerals and 1 gas. Haha. That's so weird, isn't it? It's like, wouldn't you have better minerals and gas on the bases that are on the low ground in the middle of the map where they're exposed? And wouldn't you put worse minerals and gas than the other ones? Like, it just seems a bit... It's like, you know how there's like sometimes mechanics in games that are just there to like see if the person playing it is an actual moron? I kind of feel like this base layout is like that. To be fair, Leylines did the same base layout, and a lot of pros kept taking that base as their 4th when there was a much better 4th available, so... I'm not sure StarCraft players, even at the pro level, check how many minerals are on a base before they just go, oh, this looks convenient, I'll take this. Reaper's going to bounce out of there. This Overlord does survive, very nice, gets out. Starport's coming in, and a 2nd gas has gone down. So Clem going to play Alien Banshee by the looks of it. Solar's... Oh, he's... Nidus Queen Ling? Or what is this? That is such a fast layer. He hasn't taken a 2nd gas. It must be a Nidus Queen Ling, right? Or a Queen Zergling drop? Is he going to start Overlord speed? Maybe the Queen Zergling drop all in. I think he's got too many drones for that, though, doesn't he? I'm not sure. He's got 100 gas, but he doesn't have a hatchery free to start Overlord speed with. He's still building drones. Guys, what is Solar? It's a Nidus. Yeah, he's just going to do a Nidus Queen Ling, I guess. There we go. Ling production starts now off 34 drones. He's going to try and make it look like a normal build by having quite a few queens. And of course, those queens will turn into an offensive unit in a little bit. Speed Banshees on the way for Clem. Clem is planning to play mech this game, guys. Or most likely, he's going to play battle mech. Nidus Worm is on the way. Can't let that get scouted by these Hellions, of course. Clem would be crazy to run past these queens. And of course, Solar trying to hide Lings. If he can get in, do a bit of a surround, kill some Hellions, kill some SCVs to distract and get the attack started, and then Nidus in the main at the same time, that'd be excellent. Clem is looking for an Overlord in the main, but it's also well positioned to stop the Nidus Worm. Lings are flooding in. Let's see how quickly Clem reacts. Solar. Oh, Clem doesn't react in time. He was microing his Hellions on the front. 2 Hellions go down instantly. And the SCVs will drill into the corner. One of the mules almost goes down. The SCV's fighting really well. My God, his SCV micro is unreal. He's not losing any SCV. Illegal. I'm giving him a card again, guys. He got 1 SCV for 16 Zerglings. Jeez. Nidus in the corner, though. Clem doesn't see it. Oh, now it comes out. Queen's inside the main base. He should absolutely drop a creep tumor here, should Solar. Solar's forgotten to put a creep tumor down, which is a big mistake. He doesn't have any Zerglings, though. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any Lings. He has Lings running in the front at the same time, though, causing as much havoc as he possibly can. Queens and Overseer moving on top to deal with the Banshees. He wants to get rid of the upgrade, but Banshee speed does kick in. It's speed, not cloak. He's got more Zerglings in the Nidus. They need to be unloading. He's not unloading the back Nidus right now, but he's using the Nidus Worm so that he can spread that creep forwards. Main base bunker goes down. Natural base is mining reasonably healthily, but it doesn't matter if Solar's camping your production. Solar with a delicious all-in in game 2. Will it get the better of Clem? It certainly looks like it will. Overseer comes forward, and he's got that oversight, so we can see those Banshees from far away. Queens need to transfuse, though. Here comes the SCV pool. That's not going to work out. Clem realizes if he goes up there, he's going to get surrounded by Zerglings. That's going to work out in the favor of Solar. These Banshees getting mass repaired there, as you can see, trying to keep those alive since they're such an important part of his damage. His Hellions are also vital. If he loses his Hellions, he can't deal with the Zerglings. But look at that. The production's getting taken down. The command centers are about to be set on fire. The Banshee's dangerously low. A Liberator comes out, but it's already almost dead. One Banshee goes down. The other Banshee very, very low as well. The Liberator fighting with the mass repair. Solar, should he really be fighting into mass repair? I don't know about that. He's building a spine crawler on the high ground so he can range the low ground workers. Lings go in for the surround, and Solar with a delicious all-in to tie up the series. All right, guys, we got Solar in the bottom left side. Nice all-in in that last game. It's going to go Hatchcast Pool as we go into the Old Republic. Top right side, we've got Clem. Got his little emblem, little polar bear there. Look at these patterns in the base. I quite like these guys. These kind of, I don't know why, they remind me a little bit of the, what are they called? The lines in Peru? What are those called? Man, why am I having a mental blank on this? Even though, I don't know. Someone will get me in the chat. Anyway, Nazca, that's it. I'm like, come on, it's like, I know it's a thing you can build in Civ, right? You could build Nazca lines in Civ. Yeah, I don't know. I like the design. Looks very cool. Nazca lines. Oh yeah, this is the map, by the way, guys. Old Republic. You got this beautiful. You not only got little Lyotes hanging around, which are like bizarre goat dogs. You've also got this beautiful fountain that flows down into this purple magical pool. I'm pretty sure if you drink from that pool, you either get magic powers or you get incredibly high. Who knows? Maybe both. SCV blocking the drone. Solar would like to take that third. The other third bases suck on this map. I think he should send his Lings across the map to punish Clem for blocking him here, and that drone's going to get blocked by the SCV. He will send the Lings across. I say punish. Clem's so quick, he probably doesn't really take any damage despite that. And interestingly, guys, it looks like Solar is just happy to not take a third for now. He should be building an Overlord and another Queen, right? Where's his money gone? Oh, he's just placed the hatchery already. Dude, if Clem was actually being a bit dogged about that, he maybe could have blocked it. SCV goes down, which is nice. Third hatchery does go down. Seems a little inefficient from Solar, but I think it's working out fine. Oh! He lets the Lings in! Oh, get wrecked, Clem, you dum-dum! He lets the Lings inside the base. They block the factory for a few seconds. Another SCV goes down. This is crazy. Every time someone blocks my third, because so many noobs always ask me, what do you do if they block your third? And I'm like, just click your Lings across the map. You literally can just click your Lings into their natural, and you'll do a ton of damage, and they'll get totally messed up. And then while that's happening, you either take your third elsewhere, or you just retake your third a bit later while continuing to spend your money. It's like, it's not that complicated. And then I'll say, I know at pro play it doesn't work, though, because the Terrans are so expert at their multitasking. They'll defend all your Zerglings with one Marine, a little bit of SCV micro, and the Reaper will kill 2 more drones while he's at it, you know? It is rare to see Clem actually take so much damage to those Lings going across the map. A good sign for Solar. Might have him on tilt a little bit after that Nidus. Also, this is a double gas armory build. Oh, he's doing a Hellbat timing. Oh, okay. Solar is probably going to be playing on the edge of greed against Clem. And that's really bad against this. He needs... Oh, and he's going to Lair again. This is his Mutalisk. This is his Mutalisk build. He's doing his Mutalisk Rush build. This is not the time to do it. He's seen that it's a 2 command center build. Uh-oh. I mean, he's building 6 queens, which helps. We've already got a medevac coming. 4 Marines and 6 Hellbats will be the name of the game, guys. The Hellions already getting a bit of damage here. He's going to try and morph these into Hellbats now. There we go. He's trying to dive on top, but the Lings are going good damage. Great damage by the Lings. One of the Queens does get a lot of damage on it. Only 1 Hellbat's gone down, but a Queen has already fallen. 4 Queens are ready. The Lings are here as well. The Queens need to hit the medevac. Great focus on the medevac, but he chases. He chases into the Hellbat. Solar needs to spread these Queens out so they don't take splash damage. And I think with the medevac still healing, he might just be dead. This looks like a Gi if I've ever seen one. For those who don't know, Gi, the correct pronunciation of GG, because it's what happens when you take your Gi off and bow to your opponent naked, like the day you were born, and say, you are the superior martial artist, which I think in this case, Clem's Hellbat timing does find the mark. Solar trying to be a bit too greedy. He was probably thinking, you know what, yes, you're going 2 base. Wonder if it's just quicker Banshees. Maybe you're going for a battlecruiser opening. I don't think he was expecting this armory. And that's why he was so caught off guard. Going for a quick lair and a quick 4 gases, a very greedy build, but it does not help against a Hellbat timing. All right, guys, we've got Solar in the bottom right side of the map. Chat says, does Clem just hit faster with Hellbats than other pros? No, he was actually a little bit later, I believe, because he was delayed from losing the 2 SCVs. But Solar was doing an incredibly greedy build. So he took a very fast second gas, and a quick lair, and then a 3rd and a 4th gas. He was trying to rush Spire. It's a build he pulled off earlier today where you get unreasonably fast Mutalisks. I think he did it against Percival, one of the games. And it's really good if you get away with it. So if the Terran's just kind of poking around with a few Hellions, maybe a Banshee or 2, and then your Mutas arrive at their base at like 7 minutes into the mineral line, you can do almost game-ending damage immediately. You can get a lot of momentum. You can shut down the Banshees and the Hellions if you get spotted as the Mutalisks are popping. It's a really powerful build, but it's incredibly greedy. The idea being that unless the Terran actually presses, they don't know that you're being greedy unless they really press in there. And so Clem, he was going for a bit of a gamble, the Hellbat timing, which if Solar's going for a safe build, especially if it's a Roach opening, not that powerful an opening. Even though the Queens are a bit more expensive these days, 175 minerals, so the Hellbat timing does have a little bit of a higher success rate, even against standard builds. It's not that good. He came up lucky though, right? Essentially, Solar picked a build that was a bit of a gamble. Clem picked a build that was a bit of a gamble. These weren't the most standard safe builds, and Clem's build matched up really well against Solar's build. If there was a bit of a Ling run by for Solar, as the attack was moving out or something, maybe it could have told him what was happening and really screwed Clem by interrupting his rally, but it's always going to be tough with just 4 Queens, no transfuse, handful of Zerglings. You really want Banes, Roaches, or a lot of Queens and some transfuse energy. Reaper dancing in and out. Also, it used to be back in the day, in early Legacy, we were always very, very afraid of Hellbat timings. So you would always drop like only 3 Creep Tumors, and then you would save energy on your Queens to make sure you had transfuse. And then like, if there was no Hellbat timing, you would start throwing Creep Tumors down again a bit later. These days, no one does that. No one rations their Queen energy. So if you get hit early enough by Hellbat timing, basically people aren't prepared for it. So that's just like, you know, it's one of those little bits of respect for the Hellbat timing that's fallen by the wayside. And I think now that the Queen's back at 175 minerals, it might be something Zergs should start thinking about again. Because I see a lot of players go for like 6, 7 Creep Tumors, Hellbats rock up, and they're like, oh damn, I don't have any transfuse. That's a bit of a problem. The real fear-inducing Hellbat timings was that you could put 4 Hellbats in 1 medevac in early HOTS. Oh yeah, Innovation's favorite patch. You want a lot of money on that patch, man. You'd be like, I think I've defended it, and they pick up the Hellbats, just boost in your main base, and roast your entire mineral line. Oh my gosh. The corn dog guys in chat, guys. Rayatello is a guy who is obsessed with corn dogs. If you guys don't like corn dogs, please tell Rayatello about it. 70% of this guy's diet is corn dogs, and he will literally proselytize in chat about how great the holy corn dog is. This guy, I don't know, just likes that carny American food or what, like... Obsessed is a strong word. I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy needs an even stronger word. Rayatello loves corn dogs, man. Corn dogs are love. Corn dogs are life. All right, guys. Is he doing it again? Hellbat timing again? But this time with a Liberator. Wow. Okay, okay. Liberator going in the left side. He's got a Liberator going in the left. He's waiting to do it as a surprise. So the Lib comes in, and now the Hellbats are going. This seems a little bit half-baked, though, surely. There's 7 queens here. There is a lair on the way. No Roach Warren, no Bane Nest. Solar needs to spread. You need to spread your queens in an arc. You don't want to keep your queens this packed, or they're going to take splash damage. Not the best micro for Solar. Of course, he's dealing with a Liberator at the same time. That Liberator doing lots of damage on the other side, but the queens will be able to defend. This queen also getting good damage on the Lib. That's important. That's really important. Great save on that. And these drones just need to run away now. As long as those drones run away, should be okay. Hellbats aren't very quick. Liberator did go down. Yes, it does. Gets a few more drones. 3 drones in total. Great hold by Solar. Oof. I guess without having the Marines in the medevac, he was able to stay clumped against the Hellbats because there just wasn't that much raw damage on the front. But uh-oh, more aliens come in, morph into Hellbats. They're going to kill quite a few drones here. 7 more drones go down, or 7 drones in total, I should say. Oh no! I thought this was held, but Clem is multitasking his way to find extra damage. It looked like an excellent hold. It's now turned into an acceptable hold. So I thought this was like massive lead for Solar. But now Solar, oh no. I'll explain in a moment. He gets the Reaper. This is not what I was talking about when I said, oh no. It's the Roach Warren. Ooh, I don't think does he know this is not mech, this is bio. Maybe he was planning to play Roaches anyway. I don't know, just feels a little awkward. Definitely needs to hold that drone key down, which he is doing. He's got a few Zerglings. He's got 6 queens. Not a massive count, but decent. He's lost 2 in that timing. Units lost tab is pretty similar between the 2 players. And don't get me wrong, Clem committed a lot. His 3rd command center is late. You do need to do a lot of damage with those sorts of timings. We're so used to sort of just watching 3 command center every game. Sometimes we think, oh, that's a crazy amount of damage. But when you've delayed your 3rd command center as a Terran, you do need a bit more. Look at that, guys. We get some little cheeky Banshees, or at least Banshee-looking things landed on the ground there. Very cool. Bit of snow on the helipad, though. Solar's got a healthy work account, and he's got 13 Roaches building at the perfect time. Like I said, it went from a potentially game-winning hold to an acceptable hold. I think it's probably a bit more than acceptable. Because he's got a 4th up, and these Roaches are going to be able to defend this pretty clean, I think. They're just in time. Got to get them together, though. Doesn't have his queens here. He's got a few lings and 2 spores in the main. He knows this area is going to get dropped later on. He's like, yep, we got to be ready for that. Keep in mind, ignore the minimap, guys. That's just a lighting issue on this early version of the map. That is something they will fix. Hasn't been picked for the ladder yet, but it does seem like a good map satellite. Good for Zerg as well. We saw Bjorn really struggle on this map against Solar because of the map size. And I think Clem may find himself in a similar situation. 12 Marines going to think about dropping in the main. He's just rotating around. Solar's not droning his 4th. Clem sees this. Clem's going to need to turtle. Yeah, he's building bunkers. Good call. Probably wants to put a tank here. Maybe a tank here. And then maybe a tank on the high ground. But yeah, you got to keep these tanks. He's just trapped a bunch of SCVs there. He should have moved that tank forward slightly. These SCVs can't mine now. They're on forced break. 2 SCVs trapped behind that. Better to survive, though, than it is to optimize your mining right now. He's trying to build concussive, more Marines, more Marauders, and more siege tanks. 2 factory tank is the name of the game for Clem. Very intelligent. 2 factory tank is exactly what you need to survive here. He's only got 1, though. Only 1 so far. The bio trying to defend. The bunker's buying a lot of time. 1 bunker down, 2 bunkers down. The 3rd bunker gets filled up. SCV's trying to hold the line. Clem desperately trying to survive. The bios finally take out the bunkers. Dude, I think Clem might be able to hold that tank. The tank's going to go down. There's 2 more tanks, but they're up at the wall. Oh no, Clem! Clem, he's got 2 tanks stuck behind his wall off. Clem! He doesn't realize he raised his depot. He's like wondering where his army is right now. He finally realizes, oh no. Overseer does go down. I'm stuck, Step Zerg. Roach Ravager trying to gather on the front. 2-2s on the way for Terran. Clem moving out right now is insane. He tries to move out. He wants to get the drop on Solar when he's not prepared to fight. Solar says, thank you very much. I was not expecting you to step into the clutches of my Roach Ravager. But he doesn't actually buy all the tanks correctly. And he's going to get overrun. Oh my gosh. Maybe? No, he does get rid of the tanks. I can't believe that fight was so good for Clem. Roach DPS, guys. It's a little bit like slapping your opponent with wet noodles. It does eventually kill them, but it takes a while. Roaches are tanky, but not so much against tanks and marauders. I think he should have spread the biles across both of those siege tanks earlier. Clem here stimming forward like the mad lad he is. He starts a 4th command center. Clem just started a 4th command center. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you understand. Anyone else in Clem's shoes right now would be barely hanging on for dear life. Clem right now saw a bear outside his house trying to get in the garbage, and he ran outside with a toothpick and started jabbing it in the throat with it, kicked it in the groin, and then climbed on its back and started trying to bloody do a rear naked choke. What in the hell? You're meant to be dead, man. You're meant to be so screwed in this game. Roach Ravager coming forward. Solar going to keep up the momentum. Can he take care of Clem? The double tank production really helping him out. That tank on the high ground. The Ravagers will take care of that siege tank, but I think Solar's bleeding out way too many units, and now that 2-2's done, it's actually game over. Solar cannot believe his eyes. An early finish to a series that should not have been over. I mean, Clem, what in the hell? How? What in the hell? Solar was saying earlier in his semifinals against Beyond that he's tired, he doesn't care about winning, and he just wants to go to sleep. I don't know why he's saying that at what is now 1:30 p.m. in Korea time. I don't know. I think he thought he had this game. I thought he had this game. The bunkers did hold on for a lot longer than he otherwise would have been able to. I think the bunkers were a great move. I do think he took a bit long to bile this bunker. That bunker survived a bit longer than it should have maybe. These other units not supporting from the high ground was pretty expensive for Clem. But damn, dude, I'm staring at this because I also want to figure out if he spread his biles across both of those tanks, would this have been okay, I wonder? Because there's 2 tanks there, and if he biles in the middle, I think this is way better, but he only biles one of the tanks. I don't think he saw the other one because the medevacs were kind of blocking the view of it. And Roach Ravager just very low on damage. You really rely on high numbers. And it's the 8 medevacs actually just heal the Marines through so many Roach attacks. The medevac healing was really instrumental in this game. Maybe spreading out his biles a bit more as well. I do notice sometimes that Solar spends a bit too much time. Like, I think here, dropping 1 or 2 biles across the bio would have been nice. He's got like 7 Ravagers. So there's no reason why he should have used every single bile to kill 1 siege tank. Right? I think if he spread 1 or 2 across the bio to force them to move earlier, that would have been really effective. And even now, he drops 3 on 1 spot. Something I have criticized in the past is a lot of pros use rapid fire in fights, and they drop a lot of biles in the same spot. The real power of bile is forcing your opponent to move. So if you just keep like peppering down 2 biles across the bio, another 2, it forces the Terran to constantly move, and they lose a lot of attacking time while they're moving. Not a huge amount because Clem's stutter step is godlike. But hats off to Clem, guys. I mean, we've got to pay respects. He recognized what was happening after he saw no drones on this 4th base earlier. With his drop, he built 3 bunkers. He put the tank in a really far back position where it couldn't get biled. Excellent play by Clem. Finds a way to win a game from a terrible situation. GG, well played.